everybody, it's Beth. Welcome back to the channel. So I've got a little bit of a different video for you guys here today. Come on, Fred. We are doing a little bit of a walk and we are going to do a contest entry. So the contest entry is for my friend Cody over at 80's Collectibles, and he is doing a push to get to 1,000 subscribers contest. So he's very, very close, and we're trying to get him over that hump. So I'm going to link Cody's channel below. Please go check it out and give him a subscribe. I think you'll like what he does on his channel. He has a lot of haul videos, shows a lot of cool figures, NECA figures, steel books, movies, vinyl records, soundtracks. We've really bonded over the last few years, and he's a really good person and a great dear friend. So I definitely wanted to show him some support and do an entry into his contest. So we're just going to do a little walking vlog style video here and answer the questions. So the first question is kind of 3 parts, and it's about remakes, reboots, and redos. So he wanted us to share a movie that we think needs to be remade. So I'm going to say I would like to see a remake of The Running Man. So we're going to go kind of Stephen King heavy on the first of these two questions. So, spoiler. But yeah, I would like to see a remake of The Running Man. Don't get me wrong, I love the original film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it definitely deviates from the source material greatly. So I would really like to see someone tackle that source material and stick to it a little closer and do a great, dystopian, post-apocalyptic type film. I think that would be really, really cool because the story is really neat. And I, like I said, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I think we could handle a Running Man remake if they do it right. The second part of the first question is a reboot. So kind of reboot it, reinvigorate it, right? So hear me out. I would like them to do Christine again. Now, I love the original film by John Carpenter. And whoop, let's not show that on the camera. But if you've read the source material, then you know that the film kind of, again, strays from the source material. So what I would like them to do is almost like a prequel. I want to see Christine, with her first owner. We kind of get a little bit of a taste of that, of what happened to LeBay's brother with Christine and his family. I would like to go a little bit deeper into their storyline, how he got her, how he became obsessed with the car, and, how that story played out long before Arnie found her. So that's going to be my answer. The third part of the first question is a redo, something that you want done over completely. Well, I think we all, if you're fans of Stephen King, you would say The Dark Tower. That movie sucked donkey balls, and The Dark Tower is such a vast property that it definitely deserves, I think, more of a Netflix style multi-part episodic treatment to the story, maybe multi-seasons, in fact, to get it done right. So yeah, I think they should redo The Dark Tower. Second question, and it's still a 2-parter, is he wants to know our favorite movie scene that gets us emotional, and then my favorite track or soundtrack score piece that also gets you emotional. So I thought about going a different direction for this question because I know I talk about this movie too much, but it is so important to me, and it is my favorite film of all time. But, I'm just going to have to say it, Stand By Me. So the final scene, and, if you have not seen the film, then maybe skip ahead a few minutes because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but okay, enough time's gone by. So, spoiler, the very end of the film, we kind of get a narration of what happened to all the boys, where their lives led them long after that weekend, passed them by. Long after junior high started, they went their separate ways. And the scene that gets me choked up always, there's many in this film that do, but really the very ending when Gordy is talking and he's talking about what happened to Chris. You know, he did make it out of Castle Rock. He never thought he would, you know, he never thought he would escape his reputation, his family's reputation, his bad name, you know, but he did. He made it out. He went to college. He became a lawyer. He was successful. And in the movie, which is a little bit different than the book, in the movie, Gordy says, you know, he walked into a restaurant and there were two men that were having a fight. And Chris, always wanting to make the best of peace, tried to step in and break it up, and he was stabbed in the throat and he died almost instantly. That's exactly the line from the movie. And just hearing that and knowing what happened to River Phoenix, that always gets me very emotional. And same with the music cue that plays. So the whole score to Stand By Me is very short, and it's just a take on the actual song, Stand By Me by Benny King, but just instrumentally. So that final kind of musical cue as Gordy is, you know, as they're coming back into town, and it's called Back to Castle Rock. And that track just always gets me very emotional. So yeah, one of these days I will do a dedicated video on Stand By Me, why it's my favorite film of all time, and go into a little bit more detail on why I love it so much. But that is going to be my answer for question 2. So the third and final question is again a two-parter, kind of. So we have best and worst video game to movie adaptation, and then movie to video game adaptation. So this was really tough for me because I'm not a big gamer. So hopefully Cody will forgive me because I'm just going to give some random answers here. So this is going to be a little bit of a cheat. But best video game to movie, let's talk about board game to movie. How about that? Okay. So my pick for that is going to be Clue, the movie. The board game, of course, came out long before the film did. And that board game, that's my favorite game. I've got strategy, man. I can whip anybody's butt at Clue. But the movie is just so much fun. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. You have all the characters like you do in the board game. And they go to the house, Mr. Body's house, and for a kind of a secret meeting. Nobody knows while they're there. And of course, someone dies and you got to find out who did it, right? So very much like the board game. So a lot of crazy characters. Tim Curry's in it. Michael McKean, Christopher Lloyd. So many amazing actors and actresses. So that's going to be my answer for that. I don't know if I have a worst video game to movie adaptation. I have to think on that. Jeez. Well, everybody's probably said this. Super Mario Brothers. Oof, that's terrible. Terrible movie. That could have been something amazing, but I guess I read where, like, what's his name? The one guy in, like, John Leguizamo, they drank a lot to just make it even through the filming. So that's pretty crazy right there. Okay, then the other part of the question is movie to video game. So a movie that then was turned into a video game. So I'm going to say, like again, I'm not a gamer, so I have Atari games, tons of Atari games. So I'm going to say like Flash Gordon. I know the movie came out first, and then the Atari cartridge came out. So it's a pretty fun game. It's a fun game to play. So one of these days I will do a Atari game or Atari themed video on all my Atari games. But pardon me for the labored breathing. I am still suffering from some post-COVID symptoms with my breathing. So over a year, and boy, that pneumonia kicked my ass. Anyway, so And then worst movie to video game. Worst movie to video game. Well, okay. Again, we'll stick with Atari. E.T. E.T. hands down. The game is terrible. No wonder they dumped it in a landfill. And yes, that is true. What is that name of that? What is the name of that documentary I watched? Anyway, there's a documentary where they go into the details of that, you know, conspiracy and prove it true. They dig up the games, they find them. So yeah, that game is terrible. Terrible, anyway, terrible guys, game. That's going to be my little walk and talk vlog and contest entry for my good pal Cody at H&S Collectibles. So again, Cody's channel is going to be linked down below. Please go check him out. Cody is such a sweet guy. And I got to say a big thank you to my pal David for introducing us a couple years ago, I guess it's been now. We have a kind of a group chat with us and a few other guys. Yeah, I'm the only girl in like Smurfette. Oh boy. But we have a good time. And all those guys have kept me sane over these last few years, I'll say that much. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this little bit of a video. See if I can edit something together that's watchable. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be safe. Be excellent to each other. And Fred and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Say bye, Fred. Freddie.